reporting live from the ghetto. We got Big Hutch, man. Definitely dope running into you, man. How you been?
Oh, man, hanging in there, man. You know, glad to be free. You know what I'm saying? Free as a bird that flies out on stage.
Let's jump in the time machine, man. Go back 1988, man. First single I heard from you was Murder Rap and Another Execution, man. I guess we'll start, man. How'd you end up hooking up with Easy?
Well, I used to hang out with the street hustlers and a few cats that used to work with Easy and, hustle in the streets with them. They heard some of Above the Law's little demo tapes we was floating around. Easy and NWA ended up catching fire. They kind of came back and got us. Was like, we want that street element to make, Ruthless be bigger. So we did a few joints, which happened to be Murder Rap and Another Execution, Untouchable. It was like a 4-track demo that we had already did, and then we shot it to him. And at that time, Easy Does It had blew up. At that time, Straight Outta Compton had just blew up. And then we kind of held up, because I would say 88, but it didn't come out till 89 and 90. But in the streets, cats knew it in that era, because that's how we was doing it. So finally, we inked a deal in 89 and came out in 90 with Living Like Hustlers, and that was it, Yeah.
If I remember correctly, man, back then, the first time I ever heard the word chronic, I heard it in your album, Above the Law. Yep. You guys were like the E40 of that era with the lingo, man, because like you said, like the mega sax, the ballin', hustlers, all that wasn't around before. And like Ice-T was touching on it, but you guys were so much different. You guys added sophistication to like the street, and you guys are pioneers, man, and I gotta give it to you because you guys were the first ones to bring out G-Funk, man.
See, one thing we had to do that we knew we had to be as good as NWA, but have our own lane. Is what Easy helped us be able to do, because we could have easily came out and did the same thing that Eazy-E did with NWA, you know what I'm saying? But we decided to give you that whole nother level of like what really was streets was. It's like a whole nother element. Like, in the streets, it's different shit going in the streets. It's not like one element. It's not a gangbang element. It's not just pimps. It's not players. It's not just street grinders. It's all of that. So we wanted to do the whole image of the streets 360 degrees with the knowledge, with a little politics in there, a little sexiness in there, a little party shit in there, and then hardcore. So that's how we created the whole Above the Law sound.
And actually, I read in Jerry Heller's book that he said, or he wrote, and I'll quote it, that these guys were just a little bit late, and if they would have came first, you guys would have been like the first NWA, because the way he saw it is that same way, like that you guys pioneered a certain sound, and still what the coincidence is that you guys got to link up with NWA, so you guys were some of the people that planted those solid roots in the foundation of West Coast gangster rap.
Yeah, like in that era, like what Jerry's talking about, like we actually already had a position in the streets far as the Above the Law sound before we even linked up with NWA. It just was a good thing that we linked up with them, because at that time, the whole world was on them. It's like saying that no one maybe would have ever heard of Above the Law a little bit if it wasn't for us hooking up with Easy, you know what I mean? But we had our own situation going on, which we bought the Ruthless, you know what I'm saying? Above the Law was already evolved when we came to Ruthless. So yeah, that's politically correct, baby. If it was us and them, or us without them, we would have been in the same slot, same way. So yeah, no doubt.
And I mean, not to touch on rumors or anything, but you take it back, and rumor had it that when Easy passed, rest in peace, that Ruthless was supposed to stay with you, or a certain part of it, man. And I think that if it would have, you would have taken it to that next level, because as we all know, that Eazy-E had that intuition to have like that good business sense, and I saw you guys as the same thing. And I mean,
See, for me, yeah, it should have been to me, because like Above the Law, we was the last crew that stood with him, that was with him from the beginning all the way to the end, you know what I mean? So, and I had the same vision as Eric had, I was his right-hand man. I was with him till he died, or as in the studio, for us. I knew the focus of the business and where we wanted to take Ruthless to. So yeah, definitely, I should have inherited Ruthless, but, like I said, you got the big business people and the estate and attorneys and all that other stuff, so I left it alone, because I ain't here for that. You know, I got beef in the streets. I don't have beef in the industry. This is a business for me. You know what I mean? So I kind of, went on and moved on. That's why I left. That's why we ended up leaving Ruthless, because think about what people don't know about Above the Laws. We honored our whole contract. We wasn't the type of cats that rolled down on Eric when times got tough. We honored our whole contract until he died. And would have stayed with him after the fact if we could have just came to terms with all the powers to be.
So you guys dropped, if I remember, the last album on there was Uncle Sam's Curse. That just hit everybody, man. I'm talking like there was no social barriers with that.
And see the cool thing about that album was when we first started working on Uncle Sam's Curse, we wanted to do a gangster political record. But we didn't want to make it like, for instance, like what was preachy. We wanted to make a record to where like you could relate to it no matter what color you was, but being a minority that's suppressed, it didn't matter, because really the powers that be was the government on any level, the big business and exactly. So we were talking about that before anybody, but we wanted to twist it with the gangster shit so people would pay attention. You know what I mean? So that's how we came with that. And see, we never, with music, we never get into like race and all those different things, beliefs and all that, because really as artists, they're our beliefs, you know what I mean? So what we believed in, as we did Uncle Sam's Curse, was that it was time for somebody serious to come along and really just bang about the drama in the game. You feel me? In life, period. So that's how we came up with Uncle Sam's Curse.
And then another thing that I saw or heard on your record on Executive Decisions was like rap started out like people were taking samples, looping them, cutting them up. You guys did that with Bubonic Plague. You guys did chopped up cocaine song.
Right, exactly.
And it was just that song was banging, man.
From the front to the back. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my whole thing is just about being creative. Anytime I produce anything, anytime you see me around anything, it's about being creative. There's no limitations to limit you as an artist, because it's an art. Me, I just keep it gangster, you know what I mean? I just keep it straight focused, hard nosed, to the wood, you know what I'm saying? Keeping you banging, block to block, whatever borough you in, whatever hood you claim, whatever race you may represent, it's gonna bang. You know what I mean?
So then you went Tommy Boy, then Death Row, is that right? And then you came to that halt, man, with that setup. What happened with that, man? That's just a fucking fucked up situation.
What do you mean my little vacation paid by the federal government? Well, yeah, I was dealing with a lot of people that was undesirable in my life, and all I'm trying to do is just hustle, you know what I mean? I don't want to get thrown into nothing, but people don't see the game like you see the game, and they feel like they want to victimize you too. You know what I mean? I really didn't even have to be caught up into that. But for real, the youngsters out there, just know everybody ain't your friend. And I'm gonna say it like that. Because whatever I did, I paid. I paid my dues for it. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna pay my dues for another sucker. So for real, and that goes who don't understand about snitching and all that shit. That ain't cool. You know what I mean? So, because I've been a victim of snitching and all that, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, I had to lay back. The greatest thing about when I was incarcerated was that I got an opportunity to step out the box and see really what's going on globally about everything, And then you got to deal with self. When you go to the penitentiary, you got to deal with yourself. I'm not thinking about writing. I'm talking about straight survival. I'm not thinking about writing, music, my bitch on the street, none of that shit. I'm thinking about surviving in this motherfucking concrete jungle. You know what I mean? It's still, you know what I'm saying? And trying to get home, basically, to my family and everything, right? So, it was good for me. God held me down, you know what I mean? And a few real people on the streets looked out for me. Much love to y'all. And the fans and everything that wrote me and held me up and let me know I was relevant all the time.
So when you talk about West Coast, like I said, you're part of the roots, man, and we definitely like to know like what projects you got coming.
Well, right now we got the new Above the Law record coming out, which is called Victims of Global Politics. That's coming out, and a lot of different other little groups we developing and everything, coming out. We did a joint venture with a company called Blue Tuesday, which got the new Above the Law record coming out, and that's really all you should be checking for right now. You know what I'm saying? We still got the book coming, so look for the Above the Law book coming, and then and that's gonna be real deal. Anything you need to know, you about to find out. So, but victims of global politics is coming, man, and it's ridiculous. You always can get me on cold187.com, bluetuesday.com. You can get me on MySpace, cold187, and 187 with the UM on it, y'all. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. COLD187UM. You know, there you go. You know how to say it, cold187. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. There you go. That's right.
187.
And people don't know about that. That's real shit. But yeah, that's what's up, man. Victims of global politics, man. Get that cocaine record too. You know what I mean? Give me all mines. Get that too. You know what I'm saying? Black Mob, and we up out of here, man.